To me, a book club is basically just an after party for having finished reading a book. I just finished reading The Mage Pocket, Apprentice Alliance, which is the first book in a series of 3 by Millie Florence. If all you do is read the book, find a friend to read the book with you, and you guys talk about it and what you enjoyed about it, great. Sounds like a book club to me. But if you want to add some fun things, this is what I came up with. I'll give a short summary of the book, talk about the magic, and have a little note to add. Then there's the book club ideas. We can talk about quotes we liked, make a craft, do some drawings, make some delicious food. I have a gingerbread recipe and a cranberry buns recipe. And we'll end with a few discussion questions. The people on the outside don't trust the mages and have made it an unsafe place for them to live. So the Mage Council formed and created the Mage Pocket, a secret place where they can live safely from the outside. Basically, it follows the story of 2 different characters, Sorrel and Theo. Theo, at a very young age, was tricked into signing a contract to be an apprentice to the Dark Mage, who also erased his memory, so he doesn't remember his parents or where he came from or anything. The Dark Mage is now teaching him, and he is getting older and starting to realize that maybe he doesn't really want to be doing what she's teaching him to do. And Sorrel is the daughter of the heads of the Mage Council. Her parents do die in a fire. She thinks it was not an accident. She meets Theo, and they come up with an alliance where he teaches her how to cast because she's not very good at it, can't do it at all. And she is gonna help him at the library, which is in the clouds, super cool. She's gonna help him try to figure out how to break his contract that he signed. The magic in this book is very interesting. Everyone actually has the capability to use the lumens from the sunlight to do magic, but not everyone is good at it, and it's almost kind of like math. So you have to learn a formula for a spell and then you can do it. And they blink places, so they kind of just can teleport. And one of the easiest things to do is to set stuff on fire. So there's lots of things catching on fire. Excellent book, very well written. I read it to my daughter, who is 7, and my son, who is 5, and definitely was not written for that age. It is more of a middle grade, young adult book. I did read it to my children, so we were able to stop and talk about it as we went through it, and so I think we had some good conversations about it, but it is definitely written for older kids. I have a journal that I write quotes from books that I like in, and my favorite quote I did in calligraphy. All humans were given the opportunity to create with the light of the world, but it's up to them if they create and what they create, for better or worse. You're just giving away paper crowns? Theo took the orange crown off and examined it. Is it a holiday? No, said Sorrel. Yes, Dawson spoke over her. It's Dawson is board day and get rid of scrap paper day. So everyone who visits the library today gets a free crown. So we are making crowns. Right here. I mean, we could always staple it too if we want it to be extra strong, but for now, may I adorn your head with this paper crown?
Yeah. I got a double crown.
Yeah. I always like to add it just because it's fun to me, is drawing pictures. So we all drew a picture of our favorite character, and I just went a little crazy and drew a billion pictures. Food. Sorrel is always stealing Candy Ginger. They also eat gingerbread for breakfast one day, and young Pippa brings her friend some cranberry buns, which are basically hot cross buns without the cross and cranberries inside. In the dark caverns, Theo is poisoning some wassail at some point, but I just got some apple cider. We heated it up and put it in goblets. For the gingerbread, add half a cup of unsalted butter, 1 egg, and 1 cup of molasses. Mix together. I had to microwave mine because the butter was too cold and mixed it some more. In a separate bowl, mix 2.5 cups of flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of ginger, half a teaspoon of ground cloves, half a teaspoon of salt, and whisk those together. Now you just add the dry ingredients to the liquid ingredients, and then add 1 cup of hot water. Mix until combined and put in a greased bread pan. This made about 2 loaves. Bake at 350 for 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Once a toothpick inserted comes out clean, it's ready to eat.
Cranberry buns!
Now we get to make the cranberry buns. First, we zest 1 orange, then measure out 2 1/3 cups of dried craisins. If you want more craisins in your recipe, go for it. I squeezed the juice of half an orange over the top and microwaved it for about 30 seconds and let that soak. In another bowl, we're going to put 3 2/3 cup of flour, a 1/4 cup of sugar, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of allspice, and a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Now we sift that all together. Alright, now we're going to move on to the liquid ingredients. Measure out half a cup of sour cream, half a cup of milk, 1 tablespoon of vanilla, and 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Now I just heat this up 30 seconds at a time, stirring until the butter is melted, and make sure it's around 110 degrees. Add 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast, stir it in, and wait till it activates. Once the yeast has activated, we're ready to put the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients together in a mixer. In a mixer with a dough hook, mix for about 2 minutes. Then add 1 egg and mix for another 5 minutes. Once the dough is tacky but not too sticky, add the craisins without the liquid. Mix that in and then take out your dough for kneading. Knead for about 5 minutes. Or if you're weaker like me, it might take 10 minutes. And once you press your finger into the dough and it comes back without leaving a dent, it's ready to use. Now we're going to put it in a warm but not hot oven or warm place to rise. Let it rise for about 1.5 hours and then come back to make the rolls. I divided my dough into 12 equal pieces, formed the rolls, and then set them on a pan with parchment paper, covered them with plastic, and let them rise a second time for about 1 hour. Now we're going to make an egg wash with 1 egg and a tablespoon of cream. Mix that together and paint your rolls. Now put them in the oven at 375 and let them bake for about 20 minutes. Look at these beautiful cranberry buns. I can't wait to eat them. Here's a few discussion questions that I came up with. Of course, you can come up with your own, and you don't have to use all of them. It's more about just taking the time to talk about what you enjoyed and what you've learned from the book. Number 1. What did you like about the book? Do you have a favorite character? Who and why? How is the friendship between Pippa and Mei Li similar to the friendship between Sorrel and Theo? How are they different? Maeve says, "No harm will come to you as long as you're with me." Sorrel's father tells her, "No one is going to die, Sorrel." What do you think are their motivations for lying? What does Sorrel want? What does Theo want? Why do you think the outsiders are afraid of the mages? What do we learn about Theo when he chooses to end his contract before receiving his memories back? Should Theo have lied to Maeve? What do you think of the relationship between Dawson and Theo? Do you think Sorrel should have burned the flowers left for her parents? How are Maeve and Sorrel similar? Do you think the other apprentices have a valid reason for following the Dark Mage? Do you think Sorrel and Theo have a fair alliance? Have they each done their part? Which character plans ahead the most in the story? Which character reminds you of yourself, and why? After that short summary, talking about the magic and whatnot, enjoying all the book club ideas, doing the quotes and crafts drawings, making delicious food, and hopefully having some wonderful discussions. Whether you do all these things or just a few, I hope you enjoy reading the Mage Pocket, Apprentice Alliance, and doing a book club of your own. So there you have it. I hope you read it. And coming soon is the audiobook. In the description, I have a link to the book and a link to my favorite candied ginger.